Kamala Harris finally agreed to a debate with Donald Trump. And so I want to know what your predictions are, what you think the best thing Donald Trump could say during the debate.
Yeah. Did you guys see what Vice President D.D. Vance did yesterday to Harris's plane?
Oh yeah, didn't he approach it?
He got off his plane.
Yeah.
And walked over to her plane.
Yeah.
And said, when are you guys going to come out and talk to us?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And then the debate was declared.
Yeah.
And I think he said, well, if she's not going to come out, at least they can get a good view of my plane.
Yeah, my future plane, exactly. Yeah. No, I think Trump just has to do exactly what he did with Biden. What a lot of people don't recognize is all the data, all the surveys, all the polling shows, when all said and done, Biden was unpopular because of his policies. It wasn't because of his senility. That was the final nail in the coffin. That was the Achilles heel. But his policies were actually what was sinking him in the end. And Kamala is she's the anchor of those policies. Yeah. So that's all he has to do. I think there were two things that the polling shows that Americans, how they view Kamala. Number one, they see her as the chief architect, as it were, of the cover-up of Biden's senility. So they're very upset about that. Virtually everyone you survey sees Kamala as integral to that cover-up. The second thing, but it's a for whatever reason it's because of the legacy media. It's a far second, is she's the failure. She's primarily responsible for the border. For us, that's probably the number one thing. But for most American voters, that's a far second. But it is second. So if he hammers how you covered it up, you knew he was senile. You knew that. And you hid that from American people. So if you're hiding that, what else are you hiding? If we can't trust you with that, what else can't we not trust you of? And then secondly, hammer her at the border. Hammer her at the border. And then, of course, thirdly, the economy. That's what everybody's feeling right now. You nail those three things, I mean, it's a slam dunk. And again, there's nothing she could say about him that we don't already know. That's the beauty of it. I mean, he's the most vetted person on the planet. He was technically an incumbent. So there's nothing she can hit him with that we don't already know. But there's plenty he can knock her around with, and he can't wait. You saw that scene when he was on the golf cart, going, "Oh, Kamala, I can't wait." She's even easier, and in many ways she is, because old Scranton Joe's still very attractive to rural America, very relatively speaking. But he had a chance. He had a shot at the swing counties in Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, and Michigan. Kamala's got no shot. They hate her. They despise her. Now that Tim A. Waltz has been outed, right? Have you guys seen that? I mean, that's been blowing up over the last 24 hours, where we just see video after video after video of him committing stolen valor, claiming he went over to the Middle East, that he got deployed, or he'd pull a Clinton. He'd say, "My unit got deployed." Suggesting that he was there with them after saying that he was commanding the unit. I mean, this is upsetting, particularly rural America, like nothing else. So anyway, it should be a slam dunk. We'll see, though.
I think the biggest thing Trump could say is Joe Biden fit to be president right now, to Kamala? And then what does she say? What does she say? She says either he's too unpopular to be, to save democracy.
Right.
Or he's he is unfit.
He's unfit, and then
his senility, he can't do another 4 years, right?
Right.
So, and then it's, you covered this up. You covered up the senility.
Yeah.
Or you're his vice president.
Right. Exactly.
Why
You won't. Right.
You're just as unpopular.
Right.
It's your policies.
And you didn't follow the Constitution to invoke the 25th.
Right. You didn't. Right. Exactly.
And Steve, I suspect that the Trump campaign does watch your videos. So.
Oh, I don't know. That would be. There you go. I will say that then.
If I was their campaign staff, I'd be looking at every conservative.
Yeah. Right.
So suggest these things.
Right. Absolutely.
He definitely followed it in the first debate.
Yeah, I believe that.
2020. What comes to mind when I say that? COVID, the coming of a frail and crumbling president, followed by wide open borders. It's no longer an if situation. It's a when, gang. When will the next emergency situation happen? We're still a long, long way from November. And if we're paying any attention at all, it's likely almost upon us. So being prepared is no longer a choice. It's a necessity. Thank God for the wellness company. Gang, they are amazing. They've given me and my family the peace of mind to handle any medical crisis from my family. From tick bites to the next pandemic, the wellness company's medical emergency kit is a true lifeline. This is absolutely essential to stock up on in case of an emergency. It's chock full of essential meds like ivermectin, antibiotics, antivirals, and more. This kit gives you real peace of mind for this area of preparedness. And the wellness company is a team of renowned medical professionals, including Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. James Thorpe, Dr. Harvey Risch, Dr. Drew Pinsky, and even more truth-seeking doctors. The medical emergency kit they've designed sets the gold standard for safety and prevention. Gang, don't wait until the next crisis is here. Get peace of mind now by clicking on that link below or visiting twc.health/Turley and use promo code Turley for an exclusive discount. I got my emergency pack. Now it's your turn. Click on that link below right now.
Good question. I'm sorry. Why didn't Kamala pick a black woman as VP? I thought all white men were evil.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There you go. There you go. Maybe it's a reverse DEI or something. Now we're feeling sad for old white men. I don't know. Yeah. Well, again, the VP pick was an admission. It was an admission. They're scared to death of losing Minnesota. Now, if they're scared to death of losing Minnesota, how much more are they going to be losing Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin, because the Republican registration is significantly larger there. So if they're within the margin of error in Minnesota, then we're looking at 4, 5, 6 points ahead in those swing states.
Connor, what are your opinions as a Brit on the American presidential debate format?
It's not any on the format of the debate,
or just or anything.
Yeah,
general opinions.
Yeah, it's really not that much different, really. Although we have more parties, which make it like anyone can.
Right.
Anyone can be an amazing side character for a couple of months, and then do something. It is easier in the UK to break in and do something. We're seeing that with the Reform Party, to break in and have a substantial amount of say, power, influence than here. But yeah, I don't know. Like, the history of the American debates is more interesting than the current ones. Just when you have the Kennedy Nixon stuff on the radio and the ones that are watching on the TV, you'll probably have in the future, you'll probably have something like people that watched it on Twitter versus people that watched it on the TV versus people that listen to it in the future. Like, oh, we thought so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that. The most interesting ones, I think, are the vice presidential debates.
Yeah.
But I just think that because there's a little less attention, but they're also... this one will be amazing. I think this one will just be the best of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other... did you have something?
Well, I was going to say, normally presidential debates don't matter, generally speaking. They don't move the needle. They're just formalities. We saw 2 prior presidential debates that really did matter, that made a difference. And so that's what I'm thinking. So 1960, people finally discovered Jack Kennedy. They knew Richard Nixon from being Eisenhower's vice president. They didn't really know the senator from Massachusetts, and they were very impressed, especially those watching on television. So that was pretty consequential. And then the other one was 1980. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? They were really neck and neck. Again, it's just so funny when people look at the polls. Oh, they're so close, they're so close. Do you want to take a look at the polls in 1980 with Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan around this time? Carter was leading. Carter was ahead of him. So yeah, you know, you gotta keep it all kind of in perspective there. Your guy could be way ahead in August and then go way behind in October. So just, you know, try to hold on to the big picture there. But that was incredibly consequential. They only had one debate. It was a week or two before the election, and Reagan just crushed it, absolutely crushed it. But there was a third consequential debate, and it actually ended someone's career. And we just watched it. Yeah. It just unfolded in front of our very eyes. That debate, and remember, it was Biden's debate. He's the one who egged Trump on. Come on, I'll beat you, and I'll do push-ups, and I'll go at your golf game. You know, he's just this kind of lunatic sort of guy. It's going to go down in history as one of the biggest political failures ever in our history, at least.
They have that 10-second clip that Biden put out where there was 14 cuts. of it just cutting back and forth. Just could not say a sentence together.
He just, you know, yeah. And
I think he's gonna.
We solve our different, and then the follow-up speech. We solve our differences at the battle box.
Yeah.
You know, just like, and you can just see his aides going, "I gotta send my resume out. I don't know where I'm gonna end up. Goldman Sachs. I don't know where I'm gonna."
He said, "We have to make America." We have to remember what America is.
We have to make America.
Well,
wait a minute now. Yeah. The best political pitch for your opponent ever.
Yeah.
So I mean, so to me, again, Kamala, they've dug themselves into such a deep hole right now. The polls are all artificially inflated. We all know. We can see it in the crosstabs. They're absolute frauds at this point. But the media is doing whatever they can to turn this into a competition, a real viable neck-and-neck competition, or else nobody's going to watch it. And if you don't watch it, then your advertisers aren't going to be paying top dollar. So Trump is, I mean, he's amazing. I mean, when all's said and done, he's amazing. He always rises to the occasion. And 16 of the GOP's finest back in 2016 couldn't compete with him. One of the most seasoned politicians we've ever had, 40 plus years, I know, I'm in his backyard, couldn't handle him. And he ended up ending his career as a result of facing Donald Trump. And now Kamala. This is going to be fun.